Hi, friends. Happy Monday. It is Thanksgiving week in the United States, and it's an exciting time. I'm excited to gather with family and friends this week and do a lot of cooking and that sort of thing. It's always, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I have so much to be grateful for in my life, and so I love celebrating that gratitude. So, just a couple things. This is going to be a little bit shorter Facebook Live today because I have baking and some cooking that I want to get done today before my family starts arriving in town tomorrow. But I wanted to mention that tomorrow starts Stampin' Up's Black Friday sale. They're offering it for a whole week, so it's tomorrow through December 1st. There's some great deals, and I don't know the specifics yet. I guess they're not revealing this to the demonstrators. All they've told us is kind of a generic framework of the sale. So what I am most excited about, there are certain things that are 40% off. Blends. That is an amazing deal. I am going to stock up on some of my favorite colors and because they last a long time, but they don't last forever. So I have certain colors that I find myself using all the time. I'm going to pick up some extras of those. Our paper trimmer and blades. If you don't have our paper trimmer, it is one of the best. And it seems like I always need blades, right? So I use my paper trimmer a lot, and so I'm going to stock up on some extra blades as well. And then there's 25% off select adhesives, which is very exciting because that's kind of like the basic tool that everybody uses or supply that everybody uses during stamping. So I'm going to stock up on some of that. And then 15% off on select cardstock, which is also good, right? We need our card stock. So those are the things in the sale that I'm excited about. It goes live, I'm assuming it's going to be tonight, midnight Mountain Time, and which is, if you're in Ohio or in the Eastern time zone, that would be 2 a.m. The products are products from this sale are first come, first serve. So you don't want to delay. You want to get your orders in right away. And I have something that I'm going to show you to kind of sweeten the deal a little bit for tomorrow. I just thought this would be fun. So I have a friend that does specialty bags for events that I hold. And last fall, this fall, I had her do some adhesive pouches for me. And this is what they look like. It says, I'd rather be stampin'. And then on the back, they're personalized. And if you would like one of these, all you have to do is place a a $75 order during the Black Friday sale. So you have starting tomorrow through December 1st. If your order is $75 as you're stocking up on adhesives and blends and cardstock, you will qualify for one of these, and we are even going to personalize them. So you will get one with your name on it, which is really cool. Everybody was crazy about these when I offered them at my event, so I thought I would offer it as a special thank you for people placing big orders during Black Friday. The other thing I'm offering, and it's the same thing, except that this pouch has adhesives in it. These I'm going to sell for $25. It includes the pouch. It will be personalized. This would also make a great gift. And then inside the pouch, I have glue dots, and mini dimensionals and regular dimensionals. So it's going to be packed full of some adhesives. And the intention of this is an adhesive pouch. And with your name on it, you can take it anywhere you go. People will love it, and you will know that it's yours because your name's going to be on the back. So that's the special I'm offering. And I will create an email if you just want to buy the pouch. The pouch is $5 to ship if you buy it with the adhesives in it. If you're getting one with your $75 or more order, I'll just ship it to you for free. So I'm kind of excited about that. I hope that you are as well. So say hi if you're there. Let me know who's watching. Like I said, this is going to be kind of a short Facebook Live today because I'm sure, like many of you, we are busy this week in the United States, right? Baking. And hi, Colleen. Hi, Myra. Hi, Jean. Hi, Sarah. Okay, so I'm gonna switch my camera view down, and let me show you another view of these because I think they're so cute. Isn't that just so adorable? And then here's the one with my name on the back. So we will personalize these for you, unless you don't want it personalized. But if you have somebody that stamps, or if you have somebody that is shopping for you, like a family member that needs an idea for you, this is a great Christmas gift. It's only $25. Free. The empty pouch, I just want to make sure I say this correctly. The empty pouch I will ship to you for free as a thank you with a $75 order starting tomorrow through December 1st. That's the Black Friday special. And then you can also just purchase these adhesive pouches for $25, and they do have some adhesives in them, and they will be personalized. I'll send out an email about that. Okay, so let's get started with this. I don't know the name of this card, but I call it the pleated card. And I have already done stamping and die cutting. I stamped the large snowflake. Oh, I should show you what I'm using today. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I am using the Delicate Pines bundle. I used this last week for the 3 cards that I made, and thank you for that nice response from those cards, and thank you to all of you that ordered. That was very appreciated. So let me just show you, and you saw a lot of this in action last week, but I just want to show you really quickly. This is the designer paper that I'm going to be using. It is called Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP. It is gorgeous. I love the colors, and clearly many of you did as well, because a lot of you placed an order to qualify for the card kits that I made. And then here's the other side. Love, love, love these colors. And then the other thing I'm going to use today is a little bit of glimmer paper, and it's from the Peaceful Garden Glimmer Specialty Pack. This has 3 different colors. They call this green, but I think, to me, it depends on, I think, maybe what you use it with, but I would call this more like a silver, and then Secret Sea, and then a blue. And I'm going to be using the Secret Sea today. But those are the papers I'm using, and I'm going to use my paper trimmer. These are on sale tomorrow for 40% off. That's crazy. That's a great, great deal. Okay. Set that aside. What I've done, I've already stamped and die cut a large snowflake from the stamp set, and then I used the die, the small snowflake die. It almost looks like a flower. And look at my hands. Does it look like I had fun today? I think my hands look like Christmas. They're red and green. I just had a little bit of a mess going on here this morning, but that's all right. I washed my hands several times, and so far I'm still kind of colorful, but I'm sure many of you can relate. All right, so I am going to start with a piece of Designer Series paper. It is cut 4 inches by 9 inches. You could use any pattern that you want. And what I'm going to do is score this at every 1/2 inch 12 times. So there's 1. You can count with me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so that is a lot of scoring, but that's how we're going to make the pleat, or pleats, I should say. Okay, so I'm just going to score. I'm just going to fold these for now with my hands. I'm going to be doing a better score with my bone folder once I get this all together. But I'm just going to pull these towards me, just kind of lightly, just so that I can get them in the right direction. when I do my pleats. Okay. All right, so we have that. So what I'm going to, and what I would recommend, if you do this, take a piece of scrap paper. Don't use your favorite paper the first time you do this, because you're going to need, it takes a second to figure it out. But once you get it figured out, you're going to want to keep making more and more of these. I've made so many of these over the weekend and last week. This was, I use different products, but Sherry and I just finished up our 12 days of Christmas that we go live for in a private Facebook group for 12 days. And we not only share and stamp 12 projects with everybody, but we also do 12 additional projects. So they get 24 different ideas. And that one featured the Traditions of Christmas suite. And so I made a card like this with the Traditions of Christmas paper, that gorgeous paper. But I wanted to try one and share this with you today as well. So basically what you're going to do is just start pleating. And it's like every other fold. And you'll see once you get it going, it's just going to sort of go like this. And you're pinching like that. So it's going to look like that. So let me show you again. So I started this first score line I did not use. The second one is what I folded forward, and then you skip one, and that's just because it creates part of the pleat. And so then you're just going to do the same thing all the way down. It's probably hard to see how I'm doing this, but I think, like I said, get a scrap piece of paper and try it and just play around with it a little bit and you will get it figured out. Okay, I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to find my tear and tape, which I know I had here. There it is, it's buried. Okay. So I'm going to just put my tear and tape across the pleats on the back side. And I'm going to put 3 of these. Okay, so we have that. It's curling. Let me hold this up so you can see. Look how cool that is. Isn't that pretty? I just think that's so pretty. So then what I'm going to do is take I have a piece of cherry cobbler, and I am going to just position this here. And I cut this. It's barely going to show at the top. Top and bottom. I probably could have cut that a teeny bit bigger, but I just wanted a little bit to show. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull this back. It's fun to try. You will like this. Once you get it figured out, you're going to want to just keep making these. All right, and so then what I'm going to do is just position this here as best I can so that it looks. I probably should have cut my cherry cobbler a little bit wider, but that's okay. You get the idea. All right, so I'm going to take my bone folder. And I am going to take my paper trimmer and just trim a little bit off this edge. So I want it to be a little bit more even from side to side. There we go. So now we have just a little bit of cherry cobbler showing all around the edge. And then we're going to do our focal point. And so for this, I have already stamped a snowflake in shaded spruce. This is a large snowflake. And then I have, well, actually here, I'm going to use this one. That one, and then I have my glimmer snowflake. I'm going to start with this gorgeous ribbon that I did not use last week, but this is part of the suite. And this ribbon is just so beautiful. And Gosh, it would look really pretty on a package as well. So, so pretty. Let's see. I'm going to put that about there. Let me get my paper snips. One of the things I use my paper trimmer a lot for is for scoring, like you saw me do on this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attach this ribbon. I'm just going to put a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus. Like that. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my large snowflake. Aren't these colors pretty? You know what, I'm not going to use this one. When I die cut this, it was not quite right. I think this one looks better. This one, I got a little spot of ink on it, but that's going to be covered up, so I'm going to go ahead and just use that one. All right, so I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. I had this this little piece of, or this little sheet that had dimensionals on it, and I had just a few little bits around the edge. So I decided to finish that up today on this card. Here's a couple full-size ones. I just don't like to throw those little bits away because they work just as well as the regular ones. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put this, I'm just going to set that there like that. Pretty, pretty colors. Okay, then I have my glimmer star, and what I'm going to do for this is just take my paper snips and cut it in half. I like to have a little bit of glimmer, especially at Christmas. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. And the reason I cut this in half, I'm going to add a word going across the snowflake like that. And I felt like a lot of the glimmer was covered up with my word banner. So I split this in half so that I could make it a little bit wider. And again, this is something nobody will know that we did this. They're going to think it's one big one big continuous snowflake. So I'm going to just move that down like that because I definitely want the glimmery part to show. Okay, then I'm going to take, I have a big panel. This is way more than I need, but I'm going to use Celebrate the Season from the Delicate Pines. I love this. It's the most magical time of the year. That's a great saying. But I'm just going to do Celebrate the Season, and I am going to do Cherry Cobbler ink. How many of you are cooking this week? Probably everybody. I know that in Canada, they've already had their Thanksgiving. And what is the other thing I was thinking about this morning, what's everybody's favorite dish for Thanksgiving? I don't know. I like all the sides, I think. The turkey is probably my least favorite part of the meal. What about all of you? Let me know. Do you have a favorite? It seems like every family has like the things they make. We use the same recipes year after year after year. All right. So I got this, and I'm just going to put this across here like that and see how it fits my glimmery snowflake better. If I hadn't spread that apart, a lot of that would have been covered up. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this with dimensionals as well. Here's another little piece that I found, another pack that I found that has almost nothing left on it, so it's perfect to use for this today. I'm going to clean up some of these little leftover bits and bobs of dimensionals. Okay. Oh, my sister's making grandma's stuffing. Yum. It's our favorite. Okay, so this is going to go here like that. And then I couldn't decide You know, I mainly use white cards, thick white cards for my base, and that's kind of what I had planned to do. So let me show you this. And then I also pulled in a card base of shaded spruce. So you all can help me decide which one do you think looks better. And I haven't added my gems yet either. That's going to make them pop. But so here it is on a white card base. And then here it is on a shaded spruce card base. So I think it just depends on what you like. I'm curious to see what you all think. I kind of like the white. Marianne's cooking, yes. Culling sides and the desserts. Oh yeah. I don't know, you guys, what do you think? Do you like it on the shaded spruce card base, or do you like it on the white? Waiting to see if anybody responds. I think I like the white. Yes, Myra, I do too. I think I like the white because I feel like this paper is so dark. I just feel like this, I think it sets off the paper better too. Yeah, I think white. I see a couple people saying white. Yep, there's another white. Hi, Marla. How are you? Hi, Mary Ellen. Okay, yeah, let's do the white. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on, but, and then I'm going to add the gems. So we'll just get this centered on here, like that. And I'm going to give this a press. And I don't want to forget the gems because these are some of my favorite gems. Yep, everybody's saying white. Hey, Jean, how are you? These are some of my favorite gems we've ever had, especially for Christmas. I think these are just gorgeous. And I decided to use the cherry cobbler. But they're cherry cobbler, shaded spruce, and then just like the silvery clear. So let's add some gems. And watch how these gems just make the whole thing sparkle. I'm going to start with one of the large ones there. And then I'll put a large one here. And I think a small there like that. Now, when I made, look how pretty. Look at the look how that sparkles. Those gems are just gorgeous. And I think this is such a cool look. I love the pleats. I think it's just really, really pretty. So I hope you like this card. Look at all that shimmer. So fun and really not that hard to make. Once you get the hang of doing these pleats, it actually becomes very fun and goes together really easily. So that is our card for today. And that is all that I have for today. I said it would be a quick Facebook Live, and it is. Let me show you this from a different angle. See if you can pick up the glimmer on there. I think it's pretty. Okay, so don't forget, I know some of you came in towards the end. Tomorrow starts the Black Friday sale through Stampin' Up. We have up to 40% off on blends, which is something I'm really excited about. Our paper trimmers and blades are 40% off. 25% off select adhesives and 15% off select cardstock. So the basics, right? The trimmers, the blends, the adhesives, the cardstock. So get ready to stock up. If your order is $75 or more, you will receive one of these little pouches, which I use to store adhesives in, and I will personalize it for you. So your name will be on the back, so everybody will know it was yours. And then the other thing I'm going to be offering for sale tomorrow, and you'll get an email about this, is an actual adhesive pouch for $25. Basically, I'm giving you the pouch for free and just putting some adhesives in there for you. It's a pack of glue dots, mini dimensionals, regular dimensionals, and a tube of glue. And this will also be personalized as well. If you want to offer this as a Christmas gift, I would order sooner rather than later. There's plenty of time yet to get it for Christmas. We hope to get most of these out and in the mail mid to late next week. So you should have them in plenty of time. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I wish you all a very blessed, Thanksgiving. You know how grateful I am for all of you. I can't say enough, but I truly am for your friendships, for your support of my business, and for the wonderful community that we have all created through our love of stamping. So take care, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful Thanksgiving. And as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Take care, friends. Bye bye.